go, and you can't make me. I want to stay at home.
But Daddy and I think it'll do you a lot of good to go away to boarding school. You'll make lots of new friends.
I don't want to go to boarding school, and I don't want any friends.
Now, this is silly, Elizabeth. Oh, you've been far too spoiled and given your own way much too often. It's time you learned not to be so naughty. And
if you send me away to school, I shall be even naughtier, and then they shall send me back home again.
But you'll have other children to play with.
I don't like other children, and I don't like playing.
But with your intelligence, you'll be able to work hard and then be top of the form. We shall be so proud of you.
I shan't work at all. I hate work. I hate school.
Whyteleafe School are willing to take you next week when the new term begins. Now, go and help Miss Scott to pack your things.
I won't. I won't go to school, and I won't help Miss Scott.
Elizabeth, go and help Miss Scott.
Oh, all right, Mummy. Hello, Miss Scott. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm packing your trunk for school. Reach me those stockings, please. They're part of your new uniform.
They're horrid. I shan't ever wear stockings. And anyway, I'm not going to any school, because I want you to stay and still be my governess. And I promise not to put earwigs in your bed again. I'll put soap powder in your powder box.
Now, listen, Elizabeth. 1, you're going to Whyteleafe. 2, your parents will be away for a year. 3, I have a new job to go to. And 4, I didn't think you were such a baby to be afraid to do what other children do.
Afraid? I'm not afraid. Was I afraid when...
Don't shout at me, Elizabeth. I'm not deaf. Going to boarding school will do you the world of good. It'll teach you politeness, punctuality and obedience. Though, if you're afraid to go...
I'm not. I shall go.
Oh, good.
But I shall be so naughty and lazy that they won't keep me. And then I'll have to come back home again.
Oh, I'm afraid there won't be anyone here, Elizabeth. Anyway, you'll love it once you settle in at school.
I won't. Oh, nobody loves me. I'm so unhappy.
Your trouble is you've been loved too much. You may have a pretty face and wear pretty clothes, but what's inside is just as important. Like a good heart.
I have got a good heart.
Oh, well, we're not allowed to see it very often. Now, run away and leave me to put all these things into your trunk. 6 pairs of stockings. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Oh, dear, where's the 6th?
I haven't got them, Miss Scott.
I'm sure they were all here. Perhaps your mother has them. I'll go and ask her. Oh, Mrs. Allen. Oh, Mrs. Allen. Have you seen a pair of Elizabeth's new stockings? I can only find 5 pairs. Oh, no, Miss Scott, I haven't. Oh, perhaps you dropped them. Oh, perhaps I did, but I can't find where. Oh, dear. I see where they are, Miss Scott. Someone has pinned them to the back of your dress. Let me take them off for you. Oh, another Elizabeth prank. The sooner she gets to school, the better. I'm sure she'll be a very different girl after 1 term.
No, I won't. If I'm any different, I shall be worse.
Worse? I really don't think you could be any worse, Elizabeth. Now, go away and let me finish this sewing. By the end of this week, you're going to be safely on your way to Whyteleafe School, whether you like it or not. I don't care, Elizabeth. You are going. All through the week hasn't changed my mind. My drawing room cushions, beetles in the bathroom mugs, glue in Miss Scott's shoes. All make me quite certain you would be better at school than I would be better with you out of the house.
But, Mummy...
Oh, no buts. Oh, look. There the rest of the school are, waiting for the train. Oh, don't they look smart in their uniforms?
No, they look awful. Horrid dark blue with dreadful yellow stripes. I shan't stay very long with that lot.
Oh, don't be a disappointment to us, Elizabeth. Try and make us proud of you.
Hello, is this another new girl? I'm Miss Ranger.
You are... This is Elizabeth Allen, Miss Ranger. Elizabeth, shake hands at once. I'm sorry she's behaving so rudely. I'm hoping school is going to cure her of that. She's our only child. I'm afraid we've spoiled her for far too long.
Don't worry, Mrs. Allen. The girls and boys of Whyteleafe will soon knock the corners off Elizabeth. Now, into the carriage, everyone.
Goodbye, Elizabeth. Oh, goodbye, dear. Do your best.
Goodbye. I'll soon be back.
No, you won't. A term's an awful long time, you know.
I shan't stay a term, just a few days. I shall be sent home where I belong. You wait and see.
All right, we'll wait and see. Anyway, have a sweet. It might make you sweeter.
Oh, do be quiet, Ruth, and stop teasing the new girl. We'll soon be there, Elizabeth. And once you've been at Whyteleafe a few days, you won't want to leave, will she, Miss Ranger?
We hope not, Nora. I'm sure all you girls and the boys are going to make Elizabeth feel really at home, aren't you?
Anything you say,
Yes,
Miss Ranger.
rather.
Huh.
Don't look so stern, Elizabeth. You'll soon settle down and start to do well, and then you'll be very happy.
Shan't, shan't, shan't.
We shall see.
You can sit anywhere, new girls. We get our places for dining hall tomorrow.
What's on the menu tonight? Oh, my favourite. Beef stew with dumplings and rice pudding to follow.
You're too fat to eat any of that.
I'm not fat, you horrid new girl. I just like eating, that's all.
Hey, Ruth, I got a puppy for Easter, all wrapped up in an enormous Easter egg.
Ooh. So what? I got a new bicycle for Easter, but it wasn't put in an egg. What did you get? Elizabeth, isn't it?
I had a guinea pig with a face like Miss Ranger.
Hey, you'd better watch it. If you weren't a new girl, you'd get into terrible trouble.
Quite right, Eileen. You better not be so rude in future, Elizabeth Allen. I'm in charge of your dormitory, and I'm not taking any cheek from you. So you better be careful what you say.
I shall say exactly what I like and do what I want. You can't stop me.
Oh-ho, can't I? That's what you think. Get along to the bedroom now, and I'll show you new girls what to do.
Shan't.
You shall.
Shan't, shan't, shan't.
If you don't, we shall undo your tuck box and throw away all your cakes and sweets and biscuits. And I thought that might move her.
Now, I want each bed cubicle to be kept clean and tidy. There are 3 wash basins over there to be shared by you 6 girls. You each have your own chest of drawers and wardrobe for hanging coats and dresses in. Unpack your trunks and tuck boxes and put things away tidily, and that means tidily. On top of your chest, you're allowed to put 6 things, no more, because if you do, things...
How silly. I shall put out as many things as I like.
Pardon, Elizabeth?
Oh, nothing, Nora. Please go on with what you were saying.
We're a good school here. We have lessons with the boys and some games, tennis and cricket. Last year, the girls thrashed the boys at tennis. We want to do the same again. So do we have any good players among you new lot?
I play. I was champion at my last school.
Good. You're Belinda, aren't you? Well, that will be a great help, Belinda.
And we all get the same amount of pocket money a week.
Thank you, Ruth. I was coming to that. Yes, we all get 15p.
I shall have a lot more than that.
Oh, no, you won't. We pool all our money in a big box, and each week we draw out 15p, unless we're fined.
Fined? What do you mean?
Well, each week we hold a meeting, and there we hear complaints and grumbles about one another. If the meeting agrees that someone has been behaving badly, then we fine them. That's the system here. The headmistresses, Miss Bell and Miss Best, are usually there, but they leave the decisions to us.
That's extraordinary. What happens if 15p isn't enough for you?
Well, if somebody needs something special, then they ask the meeting for extra money. Say if your tennis racket broke, Belinda, then the meeting might allow you enough money from the central box to buy a new one, particularly if you're a good team player.
I see. That sounds a fair idea. Now, what do I do with all the food Mother gave me? I want to share that with everyone too.
Thanks, Belinda. There's a big cupboard in our day room downstairs, with tins to put cakes in and things. Come on, I'll show you. You too, Elizabeth. Bring your food, then you can take it out to share at tea time.
I'm not going to share anything. I shall eat all my food myself.
Well, really, who does she think she is? And after I offered her a sweet on the train.
That's all right, Elizabeth. You can do what you like, of course. If your food is as horrid as you seem to be, I don't suppose anyone would want to share it. And what are all these things doing on top of your chest?
Staying there.
Perhaps you didn't hear me when I said 6 things only. Oh dear, girls, look at poor Elizabeth. She can't count up to 6.
I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hooray!
Bravo! Very good.
Good for you, Elizabeth. Now, if you take 5 things away, that will leave 6, won't it?
I'm not going to take anything away.
Oh, well, if you won't, then I will. There, all safely locked away. I'm afraid that's what happens to people who can't count properly.
Give me back my things. That's my parents' photograph and my ponies and my favourite...
Sorry. When you apologise, then you can have them back.
I shan't.
Very well. Come on, everyone. Let's take our eatables down to the day room.
I don't think I'll bring mine. I'll keep them here.
Then I'm afraid they'll get locked up with the photographs. The rule is, no eatables in the bedrooms. So come along.
What does that Nora girl think she is, bossing me around taking my things? I'm going to be extra naughty now, so that they can send me home quickly.
Come on, Elizabeth. Ruth's going to show us round the rest of the school and where our classroom is. We're in Miss Ranger's class.
How very nice for you, Belinda. But you go. I shan't be here long enough to need to know my way around the school. I'll see you at tea.
Hey, pass us a jam, Eileen. Thanks. I say, Belinda, that chocolate cake
Looks as though it could melt in your mouth. Swap you some for my homemade shrimp paste.
Here you are, Ruth.
I nearly forgot to say, Elizabeth Allen doesn't want to share her tuck with anyone, so remember not to ask for a piece of fruitcake. She wants it all for herself.
She's welcome to it. We've got plenty to share amongst each other.
This chocolate cake is delicious.
Will you have a piece of my cake?
Well, you do change your mind quickly, but no thanks, Elizabeth. I've had far too much already.
Huh. First they want to share everything, and then when you try to, they don't want any. Stupid girls. Stupid school.
Right, children, you may go out to play. Not the new girls. You must go and see Miss Bell and Miss Best. Sally, take these girls to the headmistress's drawing room. Wait outside until you're called, girls.
Next. Ah, now this must be Elizabeth Allen, yes? Yes. Well, we're very glad to see you at Whyteleafe School. I'm Miss Bell.
And I'm Miss Best. I hope you've made a few friends already.
No, I haven't, and I don't want any friends.
Oh, dear. But you want to be happy with us, don't you?
No, I don't.
Oh, what a funny little girl. Oh, cheer up, dear. You'll soon find out that things can be quite fun here. If you do your best, the school will be very proud of you.
Shan't. I'm going to be naughty and horrid because I hate schools. I never wanted to come here in the first place. I'll be so bad and you'll send me home next week.
Oh, what an extraordinary child. And such a sweet and attractive one, too. You wouldn't think to look at her she was quite such a tiger, would you, Miss Best?
No, Miss Bell, you certainly wouldn't.
I don't care how much you punish me. I shall still be horrid and...
We never punish anyone, Elizabeth. Haven't you been told about the children's meeting? They decide what to do with boys and girls who don't behave themselves. That's the way we like to run things here at Whyteleafe.
And who knows, Elizabeth, if you give it a chance, maybe the school will be proud of you one day, even although you're not too sure. So now, tell the next girl to come in, will you?
Your turn, Helen. Beauty and the Beast are waiting for you.
That's rather clever, Elizabeth. Beauty and the Beast for Miss Bell and Miss Best. Oh, good evening, miss.
That was supposed to be rude, not funny. Though I didn't know I could be quite so funny. Huh, stupid Helen. She's just a silly goody-goody new girl. And I hate her. And I hate this school, and I hate...
Wake up, Elizabeth. 8 o'clock's your bedtime, and you should be up there by now. I expect everyone in bed by 8:30 when I come up.
I'm not going to bed yet. At home, I stay up much later.
No wonder you're such a cross batch, then. Girls who go to bed late are usually stupid, bad-tempered and slow.
I'm not stupid, and I'm not bad-tempered. I'm extremely clever, and if I don't want to go to bed now, then I won't.
Well, really, that girl needs to be taught a lesson, and pretty soon.
Hey, you! You shouldn't be out here now. It's past your bedtime, isn't it?
Mind your own business.
Mind yours too. You should be in bed. And as a monitor, it's my job to see that people keep to the rules.
Well, they're stupid rules. And what's a stupid monitor anyway?
A monitor is put in charge of silly children like you to make sure they don't become too silly. And if you don't obey the monitors, you might get reported at the next meeting.
Sounds a very stupid idea to me. Oh, look, there's someone hiding in the bushes over there.
Oh, where? Yow! You little beast. Trip me over, would you? Come here, you little...
Ow!
Serve you right. Have a little respect for monitors in the future, or next time I'll pull your nose and ears as well as your hair. Now go in at once.
You're late, Elizabeth. You'll get into terrible trouble if you're caught by a monitor.
Well, I was, and I didn't. So there. I sorted him out. I gave him a gentle kick and he fell over.
What a silly thing to do. You'll get reported at the next meeting if you go on like that.
I don't care, Ruth. I won't be here when the next meeting happens. I'll be back home by then, so you can let me have my things back that you locked away, Nora.
Apologise first, Elizabeth, and then you can have them.
Certainly not. Me apologise to you? No.
Who's a sweet little girl, then? I hope you get out of better side of the bed in the morning. Right, girls, no more talking. Lights out and sleep well. Good night.
Good night.
Sleep well.
Night.
Come on, look lively. Breakfast in half an hour. A little not.
Not.
Besides being rude, insolent, selfish and cheeky to monitors, Miss Allen is also very lazy. So perhaps, Ruth, you could help me give her a lesson by taking the other side of this mattress.
It would be a pleasure, Nora.
And help Miss Allen out of her bed. Ow! And onto the floor. There you are, Elizabeth, you're out of bed. Now, get dressed and be quick about it, unless you want to feel a hairbrush giving you a good spanking. And tidy up your chest of drawers, or do you want me to put the rest of your things in my cupboard?
Hey, you can't wear those socks, Elizabeth. You must wear stockings.
If I want to wear socks, then I shall wear them. I don't like stockings. They make my legs too hot.
Well, Miss Ranger won't like that.
I don't care what Miss Ranger likes. I like socks.
How sweet. Do look, everyone. Elizabeth Allen wants to wear her little socks, like they wear in the kindergarten, to show off her dear little bare legs. She must be only 3, although some people think she's nearly 11. We must tell Miss Ranger.
Oh, we must. And when she knows that Elizabeth is only a baby, she's bound to let her keep her socks on.
Bother, bother, bother. I hate the school and I hate the girls. And I know I'm going to hate the teacher.
Good morning, children.
Good morning, Miss Ranger.
To start us off this morning, I thought we'd do some reading round the class and then some dictation and leave the arithmetic till last. Now, get out your reading books. Joan, will you start us off? Carol, 5. Eileen, 6 out of 10. I thought we were going to pull our socks up this term, Eileen, and start getting sums right.
Yes, Miss Ranger. It's just that...
It's just that you don't try hard enough. But I'm pleased to see you doing so well, Elizabeth. Very good indeed. Your spelling is exceptional, and your arithmetic is highly commendable. Very good.
Oh dear, this won't do. If I get very goods all the time, they never send me home. I'd better start being naughty. Now, what can I do? If I flick my rubber with my ruler, I wonder if I can hit Ruth. She's fat enough, so there's not much chance of missing her.
Oh! Who did that? Who flicked this rubber?
Don't look at me, Ruth, dear. I didn't do it. Hee, silly girl. Now let's hit Helen. Oh, missed it. Crikey, it's landing on Miss Ranger's desk.
Who threw this pellet? Playtime is for doing things like this, not during a lesson. Now own up. Who threw it? Who did it? If someone doesn't own up soon, I shall keep the whole class in.
I did it.
Elizabeth, I'm surprised at you. I really can't tolerate this sort of behaviour in my class, so don't do it again, please.
I shall if I want to.
I beg your pardon?
I shall if I want to.
Really, Elizabeth, if you are so bored with lessons that all you want to do is throw pieces of paper at everyone, perhaps you had better go and stand outside the door until you see the error of your ways. I don't mind how long you stand there, because I simply hate any child to be bored in my class. Meanwhile, the rest of us will get on with some painting. I said outside, Elizabeth.
Oh, but can't I stay and do some painting? I love painting.
All the more reason why you should not do it. Stand outside.
Just you wait and see. I'll think of something really naughty next time.
Did you bring your money, Helen? Yes, Ruth, all of it. Do we hand it in at the meeting?
The monitors will ask for it later. Yeah. Oh, we're going to start.
Sit, please. Now, this is the first meeting of term, and for the benefit of new people, I will explain who we are and what happens. Rita and I'm William, Rita's head girl, and I'm the head boy, and also the 2 judges at meetings. These 12, 6 boys and 6 girls, are your monitors, or the jury chosen by you each month for their common sense, loyalty to school ideas, and good character. And for that reason, they must be obeyed. Before we collect your pocket money, Rita will explain some of the rules.
Thank you, William. The first rule about money is that everything goes into the box, and each week you receive 15p from it. Extra money may be asked for at any meeting, and granted if the meeting is an agreement. The second rule is, if you have any complaint against anyone, any bullying, unkindness, lying, disobedience, bring it before the meeting and we shall decide what punishment to give. This is not to be used as an excuse to tell tales, so if you have any doubts about your complaint, ask your monitor.
Right. Now Thomas is coming round with the box to collect your money. Please put all your money in, and then we will hand out 15p's to everyone afterwards. Elizabeth Allen, you didn't put any in. Do you not have any?
Yes, I have, but I'm going to keep it.
Stand up when you speak to me. Now, why do you want to keep your money to yourself?
Because it's mine. I think it's a silly idea to put it in a silly box to share out.
Listen, Elizabeth, Some children are lucky and get lots of money from parents and relations, but others, for one reason or another, don't. So we decide that everyone should get the same.
Well, I think that's stupid. And anyway, I shall need all my money to get home by train, because I'm not staying at school much longer.
That's a bit silly, Elizabeth. Your parents obviously thought it would be good for you here, so why not give it a try?
If I'm not sent home, I shall run away.
I've got it. I've got Elizabeth's purse. Here it is, William. Now her money can go in the box, and she won't have any to run away with.
Thank you, Ruth.
Perhaps because of her behaviour, Elizabeth should go without her 15p this week.
A show of hands, please, jury.
Fair, yeah.
Right, carried. No pocket money for Elizabeth this week. Right, any request for extra money?
Yes, please. May I have an extra 15p to buy a light bulb? I broke one by accident in the day room.
Who's your monitor? Nora, was this a proper accident or fooling?
A proper accident, William. A can opener flew out of her hand while she was trying to open a tin.
Right, money granted to Helen for a new light bulb. I hope there aren't any complaints yet. Good. Meeting closed.
Well, hello there. Did you like that?
Yes, I loved it, Mr.
Lewis, I'm the music master here. Aye, that piece is supposed to be composers' favourite themes.
I wish I could learn to play it, but I don't know whether I'm supposed to be learning music. Do you know? My name's Elizabeth Allen.
Let me look in my wee book. Elizabeth, aye, you're down to do music lessons with me, so that's fine. I'm sure we'll do well together. And maybe by the end of term, you'll be playing that C piece too.
I won't be here that long because I should be sent home. I hate school.
Dearie, dearie me. That seems a terrible waste. You know, it's quite fun here at Whyteleafe. And looking at your governess's report, you seem a talented piano player. Now, I'd hate to see a talented musician slip out of my hands that easily.
I'm afraid I shan't stay because I should be so horrid that they will have to send me away.
Well, there's not much point our starting lessons then. Though if you like the piece, there's a beautiful record of it. So maybe, if you asked at the next meeting for some extra money, you could buy it for your day room. I'm sure the others would like it.
Oh, I'd love to. Oh, but they won't give me any money. They wouldn't even allow me my 15p pocket money today.
You must have been a really bad girl.
Well, I hate school.
But it's not as bad as all that, you know. It's not all work and stay in school. You're allowed to go down in Perth to the village every other day to shop for sweets or toys or anything. On Saturdays you can go to the cinema. Go riding on any day over the hills and commons. You can even come and listen to me giving a small concert one evening in the week, together with some of my pupils. Oh, there are dances. Oh, ever such a lot of fun things to do. You wait and see.
I want to go down to the village, Nora. May I have permission?
Yes, you can, Elizabeth, as long as someone goes with you.
All right. Hey, Ruth, will you come with me to the village?
No, thanks. I don't want to go with anyone like you. Fancy putting the school cat in Miss Ranger's desk. She was so shocked when it leapt out.
You had a good laugh at it.
I don't care. I'm still not going to the village with you. I don't think you'd know how to behave in the road, since you can't behave in school.
I do know how to behave, Riley. Will you go with me?
No fear, and there's no one else to ask, so you'll have to stay in school, and serve you right too.
Huh. Well, if nobody's going to go with me, I'll jolly well go myself. I'm going to break every rule I can. Stupid Whyteleafe school. Wish I had some money to buy some of that toffee. I wish I... Oh, no, it's the head girl, Rita, coming out of the shop. I'd better get away as quickly as I...
It's Elizabeth, isn't it? No one with you?
No. No one would come because they think I'm so horrid.
And are you really horrid?
Well, I don't know. I am horrid, but I think I make myself even horrider, so I can't be very nice.
That's a pity, because you look such a nice girl, especially when you smile. Couldn't you try being nice for a change?
No, I shan't be sent home if I'm nice, so I've got to be bad.
But that will make you very unhappy, and other people unhappy too.
I don't mind being unhappy myself, but I don't want to make others unhappy.
Well, listen, Elizabeth. There's someone in your day room who isn't very happy. It's Joan. It seems she has an unhappy home life. Her parents don't write or visit her, which seems to have made her very miserable.
Oh, I didn't know.
No one does, except me. But if you don't like making people unhappy, perhaps you could try being friendly to Jo. No one else is, because she shies away from making friends. I think she's worried they might find out about her. Could you do that for me?
Oh, yes, Rita.
Well, let me know how you get on. And Elizabeth, promise me you won't come into the village alone again. Promise?
I promise, Rita. And thank you for being so nice. And I'll try to be nice.
Now that is a good thing.
Did you go into the village without someone with you, Elizabeth?
Yes, I did, Nora.
Then I shall report you at the next meeting.
Report me as much as you like. I don't mind.
You'll mind when the time comes, you wicked bad girl.
Oh, this horrid, horrid school with horrid girls in it. And, oh, there's Joan looking very sorry for herself. No wonder everyone calls her Mouse. But I promised Rita I would make friends with her. Joan! Joan! Come and hear Mr. Lewis playing at his concert tonight.
No, thanks. I've got this letter to write.
But you're crying, Joan. You mustn't cry.
Why are you spying on me, you horrid thing? Leave me alone. You're always making a nuisance of yourself.
Joan, I only wanted to...
Yes, I know what you wanted. To see me crying, and then tell the others what a baby I am. Then you can all have a good laugh.
Oh, Joan, that's not true. I wouldn't do that, honestly. Please, Joan, I'm not quite as horrid as I pretend. Let's be friends, please.
Go away. What do I want the naughtiest girl in school as a friend for? I don't want any friend. Go away.
Oh, dear. Now I feel dreadful. How can I help Joan if she won't believe I'm not as horrid as I seem? But I shall still try, just to show Rita I really can do something for somebody. The next chance I get to help Joan, I'll try again. What's that? Oh, it's Joan. She's crying again. Whatever's the time? We went to bed hours ago. I'd better go and see what the trouble is. Joan? Joan, it's me, Elizabeth. What's the matter? What's made you unhappy?
Go away.
I shan't. Listen, Joan. I'm unhappy too. I know just how you feel. So please tell me what the matter is. I promise I won't laugh.
Well, nothing much really. Just my mother and father don't love me. They never write or come to see me at half term. And this term it's my birthday. And they won't remember. That's what makes me feel so unhappy.
Oh, Joan, that's terrible. When I think how my parents spoil me and make a fuss of me, and here you are wanting just a little bit of what I get all the time, I feel rather ashamed.
So you ought to be. You don't know how lucky you are getting letters and presents and... Oh, it makes me feel so jealous.
Don't be jealous, Joan. I would share everything with you if I could.
Then I don't think you're as horrid as you pretend to be.
Perhaps not. I do pretend to be worse, so that they will send me home.
I don't understand that, Elizabeth. You say your mother loves you, and yet you want to make her unhappy by being expelled from school. I tried and make my mother proud of me, even though she doesn't love me half as much as yours does. The others laugh at me because they know I don't get any letters. And last term, I even sent letters to myself, but the others found out and teased me more. It's just so awful.
Don't worry, Joan. Couldn't we be friends, please?
All right. And thanks for coming over tonight. You've made me feel much better. I don't think you're horrid. I think you're nice.
No one's going to laugh at you again, Joan. You're my friend now.
Oh, go on. Do it now.
I certainly shan't apologise to Nora. She's so interfering.
Well, I think you're an awful baby. She was only doing her job. She's quite sweet, really. And if you did, you could get your parents' photographs back.
Baby, am I? I'll show you. Nora, I'm sorry about the things you locked away. I do know how to count, and I'll show you.
Good gracious, don't deafen me. All right, you can have them back. You're an awful goose, you know.
Thanks, Nora. Yes, I was. Sorry. Hey, come on, Joan. Let's see if there are any letters for us.
Well, you won't find one, will you, Joan? The day you get a letter, you'll jump through the roof, I should think.
I suppose you think that's funny, Eileen, don't you? Well, let me tell you, Joan had 2 letters and a card yesterday, and she didn't jump through the roof. We're not all as cuckoo as you.
Well, really?
What an awful story to tell, Elizabeth. I didn't get any letters.
I know, but Eileen's like a big cat trying to claw a mouse. You. So I felt like a big dog and barked at her.
You are funny, Elizabeth. Why do you have to spoil everything by being so naughty? You're going to be reported for so many things at the next meeting.
I don't care. I whistled in the class on purpose because I want to be sent home. And that's why I spilt that ink, and perhaps the next meeting will do just that.
So, no more cheating out of you, Harry Dunn. Mr. Johns will give you extra tuition. Now, are there any more complaints?
Yes, William. I have a complaint about Elizabeth Allen. She won't go to bed at the right time. She's so rude and horrid. And she even spilled ink on her rug and refuses to clean it.
That's easily settled, Nora. Send it to the cleaners and don't let Elizabeth have her 15p this week.
As to bedtime, we can change that to 7:30 instead of 8.
But I shall miss the dancing and the concert.
It's your own fault. If you're not going to be sensible...
Yes, about the rudeness. We usually find that's a result of parents spoiling their children, not teaching them good manners.
But my parents have taught me good manners.
Then it's a pity you don't follow their example, Elizabeth.
And what about her behaviour in class? She spoils all our lessons. And Miss Strange is getting very tired of it.
This is dreadful. I had no idea you were so bad, Elizabeth. I'm disappointed. Has no one a good word to say for her?
I have. Elizabeth can be kind. She's not really that horrid.
Well, that's something, I suppose. Thank you, Joan. Now, what are Elizabeth's favourite activities?
Music, painting and riding.
Right. You shall not be allowed to take these this week, nor be allowed down to the village. We shall hope for a better report next week. Meeting closed.
This is a great shame, Elizabeth. You're such a promising pupil, and I wanted you to learn a duet to play with Richard Watson. He's another fine pianist. But if you can't have your lessons...
Oh dear, I am annoyed. You see, I have to be naughty, Mr. Lewis, so that I can get expelled and sent home.
Well, Whyteleafe School has never expelled anyone, so I don't suppose they'll start with you. You'll spend all your time being horrid and feeling horrid instead of enjoying yourself. I'd go and see Rita and ask to be sent home because you're unhappy, not because of your naughtiness.
Oh, perhaps that's the way. I won't be so horrid this week and then go and speak to Rita.
If you're still unhappy, I think you might change your mind. Anyway, perhaps you'd like to practice this duet in your own time, in case you do.
Oh yes, Mr. Lewis, I'll do that. But I won't change my mind.
That's a great shame.
I won't change my mind, Joan.
But you've been so good this week and happy. Miss Ranges is full of praise for your work in class. Nora's very pleased by your behaviour. And John Terry was terribly impressed about you knowing all that about gardens. Fancy being asked by the great gardener John to help him. And you look so happy, Elizabeth. I don't believe you want to leave Whyteleafe at all.
I do. I don't change my mind, you'll see. I'll tell Rita I'm unhappy and get her to send me home. I won't stay.
Well, the next meeting will decide.
I won't.
anyone want extra money this week?
Well, yes, I would like to buy something nice for our day room.
What is it you want, Elizabeth?
A record of a piece Mr. Lewis plays. I know I could buy it with my pocket money, but I owe Joan for sweets which he bought me last week.
What does the jury think?
Yeah.
We think the money should be granted. I've heard her practising like mad before breakfast every morning. She deserves a reward.
Money granted, then. Give it to Elizabeth. And while we're at it, perhaps we'd better consider the reports on our bold, bad girl. Nora, what have you to say?
An excellent report, William. Elizabeth has obeyed all the orders of last week's meeting, cheerfully and well.
Thank you. I have a note from Miss Ranger to say Elizabeth's class behaviour has been very good indeed. This is wonderful, Elizabeth. I've noticed how excellent your manners are, so we apologise for blaming your parents. And since you seem to be getting on so well, we hope you've changed your mind about leaving Whyteleafe.
Oh, no, I haven't. I've only been good because I realised that just by being naughty and horrid, I wasn't going to get sent home. But I still want to go, so please could you ask Beauty and the Bee, Miss Bell and Miss Bess to send me home?
This is an extraordinary request, and since we are not sure what to do, we're going to ask Miss Bell and Miss Bess to help us. And since that might make you feel a little awkward, perhaps it would be best for you to wait outside, Elizabeth.
Yes, I'd rather. But please, Miss Bell, I shall be awfully naughty again if you don't.
Don't say any more. Leave us now, Elizabeth.
I say let her go. We don't want a nuisance like her.
We do want her. I think we can help her a great deal.
She's been spoilt, and like all spoilt children, she thinks everything's for her. It makes it difficult for her to fit in anywhere.
But Elizabeth really is kind. I'm her only friend and I know she has a good heart.
Joan is right. I've noticed her doing little kindnesses.
It seems so funny that she wants to leave Whyteleafe.
Maybe I see an answer. If we tell Elizabeth she needn't be naughty or rude any more, but enjoy herself as she likes, then if she still wants to leave after half-term, we let her go.
Oh, I see, Miss Best. If she enjoys herself so much, she won't want to leave.
That's the idea, Rita. If Whyteleafe is as good as William says, I'll back you all to help Elizabeth be at her best.
Are we agreed?
Good idea.
Yes, lovely.
Right. Call Elizabeth in, and we'll tell her our decision. I think Miss Best will be proved right.
Oh, Elizabeth, this has been a wonderful week, hasn't it?
Yes, I have rather enjoyed it, Joan. The dance was great fun, and it was lovely to share the chocolate cake my grandmother sent me. My old governess, Miss Scott, wouldn't believe I could share anything.
Well, then I hope I've still got you after half-term.
No, you'll have to make the most of me now. I'm going home. I mean to show my parents I just won't be sent away to school.
Oh, well, let's go and see how those lettuce seeds you planted for John are getting along.
I can't. It's time for my music lesson now, and I don't want to miss it because I've been practicing all week. I'll see you later. Bye.
Oh, Elizabeth, here you are. This is Richard, the boy you're going to play the duet with.
I didn't know it was a girl I had to play with. And what does the bold, bad girl know about music?
I'll show you.
Now, I'll count you in. 1, 2, 3, 4. There now, very good. Do you think you two can find time to practice together?
I suppose so.
But don't if you don't want to.
Now, this won't do. You can choose, Richard, either to play with Elizabeth or Harry. But I don't think you'll find anyone as good as this wee lassie.
Well, Elizabeth, then. Harry plays the piano as if his fingers were a bunch of bananas. I'll practice with Elizabeth. She's really quite good.
And so are you, Richard. You're nearly as good as Mr. Lewis.
No, I'm not. But one day I hope to be far better, and then you'll be able to hear me give a concert in London. My own compositions, too.
Well, perhaps you'd like to go and compose just now while I give Elizabeth the rest of her lesson.
Rightio, and thanks, Mr. Lewis. Bye.
I'm glad we're doing the duet. I thought, too, you'd like to learn that C piece and maybe get it up to performance for the end-of-term concert, eh?
Oh, I'd love to learn it, but I won't be here then. I shall be sent home at half-term. Couldn't I play it then?
We don't have a concert. Oh, dear, Elizabeth. Still being the bold, bad girl, are we? What a shame. Ah, well, we better practice our scales. I'll find someone else to play the C piece.
Let me learn it anyhow. I've ordered the record for the day room, and I would so love to learn it.
Very well. I'll play it through, and you listen hard.
Dear, I'm beginning to enjoy myself so much and be happy, and even like boys. I can't have this, liking boys. I'll just have to do something naughty again. Now what? I know. Harry always gets into the art room first after lunch, so today I'll get there first and play a little trick on him.
Oh, yow! What on earth? Oh, a filthy wet sponge. And look at my jacket. It's sopping wet. Oh, I'll have to change. I wonder who did that. Somebody trying to be very funny. I suppose. Aha! Who's behind this door? Elizabeth. So it was you, you bad girl. I'm going to stuff this wet sponge right down your silly little neck.
Careful. Here comes Miss Chester.
Oh, you wait. I'll pay you back for this.
What are you laughing at? Have I got paint on my face?
No, Elizabeth.
Well, is my hair untidy or something?
No, Elizabeth, your hair looks fine.
Well, what is it? What are you laughing at, Joan? What is the matter with everyone? They keep going behind my back and giggling. I hate it.
Turn around.
Oh, dear Elizabeth. You've been going round all this afternoon with this notice pinned to your back. I'm the bold, bad girl. Beware. I bark, I bite.
How dare they? Who pinned that on me? Who pinned it on me? Come on, own up. Or are you too scared?
No, I'm not scared. I did it in return for that wet sponge present you gave me, dear girl.
Don't call me dear girl. You're hateful.
Hey, stop that at once. Elizabeth, apologise to Harry.
Certainly not. I shall report Harry at the next meeting.
Come with me, Elizabeth. Be thankful Harry is too much of a gentleman to...
I'm going to report him.
But we don't report jokes, Elizabeth. If anything, I should report you.
Why?
Because you called Harry names and slapped him. And that was a mean and hateful thing to do. Which Harry's paid for.
Yes, that was spiteful of me. Oh dear, I really have tried to behave decently and now I've spoilt it all.
No, you haven't. We can always put things right. Go and say you're sorry to Harry, and I'm sure he won't think any more about it. He's a good sort, really.
I don't like saying sorry.
Nobody does. But a little thing like that makes a big difference. Try. I think you'll find I'm right.
They were all so friendly towards me, and now they don't like me any more because I lost my temper. But I don't want to say sorry. I know Harry will say something horrid, but I'd better try, I suppose. You don't know if you don't try. Harry!
I don't want to speak to you.
But I want to speak to you in private.
Whatever you have to say, which can't be very important, can be said in front of all the others.
Very well, then. I've come to say sorry for calling you names, and I'm sorry for slapping you. I realise that was very silly.
That's jolly decent of you, Elizabeth. I knew you weren't such a bad sort. Come and see my rabbits. I've got some baby ones now. You can have one if you like.
Oh, I'd love to buy one from you.
No, I'll give you one, with a little hutch and everything.
Oh, but I shan't be here that long. I shall be going home. I've made up my mind to go after half-term.
That's a great pity, because I hear you're a great pianist, even better than me. You could have played in the end-of-term concert. It's great fun.
Yes, that is a shame, but I've made up my mind. Anyway, come with me, everyone, and listen to the record I bought from the day room. It's the lovely sea piece that Mr. Lewis is teaching me to play.
Don't tell anyone, will you, Elizabeth? I know I won't get any cards or presents or a cake, but I wanted you to know because you're my friend.
Thanks, Joan. I'm glad you did, though it does seem a shame that you can't tell any of the others that it's your birthday next week.
You won't tell, will you?
No, of course not. I promise. See you later. Now I know what to do with the £1 note Uncle Rupert sent me. I'll use it to buy a present and card for Joan, so that she won't feel so dreadful on her birthday. I can buy things this afternoon when I go down to the village with Belinda and Helen.
What do you want to buy, Elizabeth?
It's a secret, so I don't want you to come into the shop with me if you don't mind.
All right. We'll be in a sweet shop. Don't be too long.
Right. First to the baker's and order the cake. Excuse me, do you make birthday cakes?
Oh, yes, missy. Large or small?
A large one. It's for a birthday at school.
Oh, yes, I know the size you children like up there. I'll make you up a really nice one for 50p. How many candles?
11. And please put a happy birthday for my darling Joan on it. And could you send it to Whyteleafe on Friday, please, to Miss Joan Townsend?
Of course. I'll decorate it nicely and put 2 layers of thick cream inside. All right?
Sounds delicious. I'll pay you now, please. Here's a £1 note.
Oh, Elizabeth, on your own? Didn't someone come with you?
Oh, yes, Nora. Helen and Belinda are waiting for me in the sweet shop.
Your change.
Mustache. Now to buy a birthday card and that book Joan wants. And maybe if I have enough left over, I'll buy her that little red handbag we saw in the window the other day. Then I must find a safe place to hide everything until Friday. Won't Joan get a lovely surprise to have cards and presents from her parents? It's lucky I got sent £1 and didn't have to put it in the... Oh dear, I should have put it in the big money box, and I forgot. I'm sure Rita and William wouldn't let me have so much, even if they did know it was for a good cause like Joan. Oh well, it's done now and no one knows about it, so I just mustn't tell anyone.
Ah, you're back from the shops, Elizabeth. I'd like a word with you.
What is it, Nora?
Where did you get that money I saw you spending in the baker's shop?
Oh, my uncle sent it to me.
Well, you know the rule. Why didn't you put it in the money box? You know you can always have it out, if you really need it.
I know, Nora, but I forgot until after I spent it. Really, I did.
Spent a whole £1? Whatever did you spend it on? You must tell me. Just wasted it, I suppose.
No, I didn't. Please don't ask me, Nora. It's a secret.
You're a very naughty girl. If you won't tell me, then you can tell the next meeting.
But I can't tell them. It's a secret one. I can't tell.
Well, we'll let the meeting decide that.
Oh dear, why does everything go wrong just as I'm trying to do something good? Oh well, never mind. At least Jo will have a happy birthday. What a surprise she'll have. Hooray! You'll soon be 11, Joan. I wonder if you'll get a cake.
Shh! Don't be silly, Elizabeth. You know I won't.
But you'll get some cards. I wonder how many.
She didn't have any last year, so I don't suppose she's got any mother or father.
I have. Funny they never come and see you, not even at half-term.
Be quiet, Eileen. I'm surprised your parents bother to come and see a girl like you. I certainly wouldn't.
Please don't say any more about my birthday, Elizabeth. You'll make things worse if you do. I'm not like you. I haven't even got relations to send me things or give me treats.
You are unlucky, Joan. Well, I won't say any more about your birthday to the others. You go and see what time the concert is this evening, and I'll join you in a minute. I have a little business to do. Harry? Harry! Will you do something for me?
Depends what it is.
It's Joan's birthday tomorrow, and you know you said you'd let me have one of your rabbits. Well, would you give it to Joan instead? I can't tell you how thrilled she'd be.
Well...
Oh, go on, Harry, be a sport.
All right, I'll bring it in at breakfast time.
Happy birthday, Joan. And here's a little present for you. I hope you have a lovely birthday.
Oh, Elizabeth, it's perfectly lovely. It's that handbag we saw. It's just what I wanted. The best present I've ever had. How sweet of you.
Hey, Joan, here are 3. Must be birthday cards addressed to you. Happy birthday.
For me, Nora? Why, yes. I wonder who they're from. With love from Mother. Oh, she remembered. And this one's from Daddy. And this one's from... Oh, it's from you, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Parcel delivery for you, Joan. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you, William. I wonder who this is from. This one's the book on birds I wanted, from Mother. Oh, isn't it wonderful? She remembered.
What's in the big box, Joan? Undo it quickly. Oh, a cake. A huge birthday cake.
It's beautiful. And it's so big. How lovely, lovely, lovely. Oh, I'm so happy. I think I'm going to cry.
Don't cry just yet, Joan. Shut your eyes and hold out your hands. Right. There. Now open.
Oh, a baby rabbit. Isn't it adorable?
What have you got there, Joan?
Miss Ranger, it's a baby rabbit. Harry gave it to me for my birthday.
I see. Well, take it out to the hutches now, Harry. Joan can have it again afterwards. We don't want to turn breakfast time into feeding time at the zoo, do we?
Oh, Elizabeth, I can't tell you how happy I am.
You don't have to. I can see how happy you are. And I'm very, very glad.
This is the most wonderful birthday I've ever had. And I'm going to write to my mother and father to thank them for all these lovely things straight away. I must show them how grateful I am.
Oh, I didn't think of that. Whatever will her mother think when she gets a letter thanking her for things she didn't send? Why was I so silly not to think of that? Joan will be so unhappy when she finds out. Now I feel awful. And Nora's going to report me at the next meeting for spending £1 and not putting it in the money box. I was just beginning to enjoy myself at Whyteleafe.
Afternoon, all. Any second post letters for me? No. Oh, well. Better luck tomorrow. How's the rabbit, Joan?
Oh, it's lovely, thank you, Harry.
Good. We're in for a storm. Any letters for me? No? Oh, look, Joan. There's one for you.
It must be from my mother, in reply to my thank you letter.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Elizabeth. Mother says she didn't send me a birthday card or present or a cake. I don't understand. Who can have sent those things if it wasn't my mother?
Come and have a cup of tea, Joan. You look very pale.
No, I want to go out for a bit alone. I'll be better when I get back, thank you, Elizabeth.
But, Joan, it's going to pour with rain. Oh, dear, she's gone now without a mackintosh or hat. I meant to be so kind, and all I've done is give Joan a dreadful shock and make her unhappy. Now she's going to get caught in this awful storm.
Going to tea, Elizabeth, you're late. We'll go without cake today.
At last, Joan, you're back. Where have you been? You're simply soaked through. Come and change at once. You'll catch a dreadful cold if you don't change into dry things.
Good gracious, child, where have you been to get into that state?
She's been out in the rain, matron. She's awfully cold.
Come along with me at once, Joan. What a sight you look. I think I'd better take your temperature. You don't look at all well.
I hope she'll be all right. I'd better go and do my music practice. I mustn't be late for that as well.
Have you heard, Elizabeth, about Joan? She's got a very high temperature, so matron's put her in the sand. Poor old Joan. Don't look so glum. She'll be all right by tomorrow, I expect. It's a pity you can't go and see her and cheer her up a bit, but matron says she's not allowed visitors.
I don't think I'll cheer her up, Belinda. I just feel depressed.
Then you wouldn't be any help. What's the matter?
Oh, nothing. It's private. I'll sort it out on my own. I know what would cheer Joan up. If her mother came to see her, I'll write to Mrs. Townsend and tell her everything I did and why, and how Joan is upset and how she's ill. Yes, that's what I'll do. But it's not going to be easy. Now, how shall I start? Dear Mrs. Townsend, my name is Elizabeth Allen, Joan's friend. I am very fond of Joan, but I have made her unhappy, and now she is ill. Joan has told me a lot about you and how she loves you and how she feels you don't love her, because she gets no letters or visits from you. Last week I received £1.
A whole £1? I saw Elizabeth spend £1 in the baker's shop the other day, and she wouldn't tell me anything about it.
Elizabeth, is this true? Quite true, Rita.
That's disgusting. We all put our money into the box. We gave Elizabeth extra to buy a record. And now she puts her money into her own purse. The mean thing.
Elizabeth,
What did you spend this money on?
I can't tell you. Oh, please, Rita, don't ask me. It's a great secret, and I only spent it all because I forgot about putting it in the box until it was too late.
Do you think the meeting would have allowed you that much money to buy what you did?
I don't know. I only know I wish I hadn't spent it. I was quite wrong, and I do see what a good idea the money box is, and I am sorry.
Listen, we want to be fair about this. You tell us what you spent the money on, and if we feel it was for a good purpose, we'll say no more about it. Only you must remember the rule another time.
You're being very fair to me, Rita, and I don't deserve it, but I can't tell you what I spent the money on. I did something wrong with it, and somebody else is involved. It's a secret.
Who is this other person?
I can't tell you that either.
And you told no one about the secret?
One person. I did tell a grown-up in a letter, but I only posted it yesterday, so I haven't a reply yet.
Oh dear. Well, I'm not quite sure what to do.
Since Miss Bell and Miss Best aren't here to advise us, we've decided to leave this matter, Elizabeth, until you receive a reply to your letter. When you have, then please go and see Rita.
Yes, William. Thank you very much. Please take my 15p back this week. I don't feel I deserve it.
Good girl, Elizabeth. Right, meeting closed.
Oh, Belinda, have you just been to the Sand? How's Joan?
Matron says she's not any better because she's worrying about something all the time. They asked her if she wanted her mother to come, but that just seemed to make her worse.
Oh, dear. Thanks, Belinda. Why does everything I do turn out wrong? What's Joan going to think when she knows her mother really didn't send her all those things? Oh, I wish Mrs. Townsend would hurry up and write to me.
Enter. Ah, Mrs. Townsend, come in.
Thank you, Miss Bell. How is Joan?
Not well, I'm afraid. How did you find out about her? She asked us not to write to you.
I had a strange letter here from a girl called Elizabeth Allen, and it's all about Joan's birthday and presents. I don't understand much of it, really.
Ah, I do. There's been a great mystery about a pound note which Elizabeth spent, and she wouldn't tell anyone on what. But this letter explains everything. It's amazing. Elizabeth is such a defiant girl, and yet she's kind-hearted and just enough to do something like this. I now understand why Joan doesn't want to see you. She is ashamed because she thought you sent her the presents, and hurt now because she knows you didn't. Do you see what I mean?
Yes, I do. I think I'd better explain a few things. Joan had a twin brother, Michael, whom my husband and I doted on. He was a fine boy, and Joan always seemed sulky beside him.
Ah, so you made a great fuss over him and none over Joan.
I suppose so. But when they were 3, they were both very ill, and Michael died. And because we loved him so much, we both wished
that Joan had been taken instead. Yes, I understand, Mrs. Townsend. You have never forgiven her for being the child that was left.
She soon forgot. I don't think she remembers she had a brother.
Oh, then I think it's about time you told Joan all about it. She loves you very much and is so miserable because she can't understand why you don't return that love.
I do love her. It's just been so difficult to show it to Joan. But when I received this letter, I felt dreadful. I felt I'd had to come at once.
Come and see Joan now. Once she understands about everything, she won't mind so much, I'm sure. She's a gentle, kind girl.
What about Elizabeth? I would like to speak to her.
I'll ask her to be sent over to the sanatorium. We can meet her there with Joan. Now, if you'd like to come along with me...
Ah, you're here, Elizabeth. You're to go straight into the ward.
Yes, matron. How is Joan now?
Much better. We'll soon have her out and about again.
Oh, good.
But don't excite her too much. And is this Elizabeth?
Yes. Hello, Mrs. Townsend. Hello, Joan. I'm glad you're getting better. I've missed you.
I've missed you too.
Elizabeth, I want to thank you for your letter. It must have been very hard to write.
Yes, it was. I was afraid you'd be terribly angry. And I didn't mean to make Joan so unhappy on her birthday.
Never mind. It all came right in the end.
Has it?
Very right. Joan and I have had a long talk, and now we understand each other much better. And I'm so pleased she's got a good friend like you, Elizabeth.
Although I do wish you'd stay at Whyteleafe and not leave at half-term. Couldn't you possibly stay?
Don't ask, Joan. My mind's made up, and it's a weakness to go back on something like that. I shall go back with my parents at half-term.
And that's when I'll come and see you again, Joan, at half-term.
Oh, thank you, Mummy. Thank you.
I'd better be off now. I have to speak to Rita before I go into class. There's something I have to tell her. See you soon, Joan.
Good gracious, what a hurricane you are. You're just the person we wanted to see.
And I was coming to see you, Rita. It's about the money.
We know about the money. Miss Bell called William and I into her office and explained all about it. We see now why you couldn't tell the meeting.
And we've decided not to mention it to the meeting either. We shall simply say that the explanation has been given and accepted.
Oh, thank you. I was only thinking of Joan, you know.
We know. You tried to do the right thing in the wrong way. If you'd been at Whyteleafe a bit longer, you'd have done things differently. You would have been wise before the event.
Yes, I wish I was like you and William.
Well, why not stay and learn to be? You're just the sort of girl we need around here. You would make a fine monitor later on.
Me, a monitor? I'd love to be, but I can't change my mind. I said I meant to go home at half-term, and I will. Only feeble people change their minds, and I'm not going to be feeble.
I don't know where you got that idea from, but it's wrong.
Wrong?
Of course. Make up your mind by all means. But if something comes along to show that you are wrong, then it's even more feeble not to pluck up the courage to change your mind.
I hadn't thought of that.
Think about it. The next meeting will be the last before half-term. If you still want to leave us, then we shall keep our word and let you go. But we will be sorry to lose the naughtiest girl in the school.
Yes, the place won't be the same without the bold, bad girl. You think about it, Elizabeth.
I will. Thank you, Rita. Thanks, William.
Splendid. You've practised exceptionally well since your last lesson. And Elizabeth, you've got that C piece off beautifully.
She ought to play it at the concert, shouldn't she, Mr. Lewis?
Aye, she should that. But she doesn't want to just now.
I do want to. It's only that I'm leaving soon.
Oh, that silly story again. You're just too obstinate. That's your trouble, Elizabeth. You may be excellent at music, but I don't think much of your common sense.
Well, you haven't put him in a very good mood. He's very disappointed you won't be playing the duet together. You're upsetting a lot of people, you know, Elizabeth.
Oh, dear. I don't want to, Mr. Lewis. Joan's been pleading with me to stay, and really if I'd known I was going to make such a nice friend as her at Whyteleafe, I'd never have made up my mind to leave.
Well, there's a simple answer to that. You go and take a wee walk outside now, and have a really good think about what you want to do.
Yes, I will. Thank you, Mr. Lewis.
Look at your lettuce seeds, Elizabeth. They've all come up. And that bed you've been clearing looks marvellous. Well done.
Thanks, John. I really enjoy gardening.
Perhaps you should run the gardens with me. It's good to find someone who doesn't mind a bit of hard work.
Hollyhocks would be nice against that wall, don't you think?
Great idea. We could ask for some money to buy seeds at the next meeting, and then we can...
You can. I'm afraid it will be my last meeting.
Your last meeting? What a feeble goose you are, Elizabeth.
Feeble? I like that. Just because I'm sticking to my word, you call me feeble.
Well, it is feeble to give up all the things you like here. Gardening, riding, music, your friends. Just because you're too proud to...
Ha! Oh dear, Elizabeth Allen. You are feeble. John's right, and Richard and Joan. You're a coward. Always out for what you want. I wanted to leave school at half-term, and now the meeting says I can if I want to. I thought school was going to be hateful and horrid, and now I find it isn't. So why am I going? I'm simply going because I can't bear to change my mind. I can't bear to admit I'm wrong. But who says I can't change my mind? William says it's the mark of a strong person to be able to see when they're wrong. So I'm going to prove that I'm not as weak as they think. I'm going to give the next meeting the biggest surprise it's ever had.
Yeah.
Yes, we could, couldn't we?
Next point. I'd like to say that William and I have received an explanation from Elizabeth Allen about the pound she spent, and we are satisfied with it. We don't wish to say any more.
Wait, Rita, there is more. This is the meeting at which we must ask Elizabeth if she wants to leave us. We have spoken to Miss Bell and Miss Best, and they are in agreement to let you go at half-term with your parents, Elizabeth. So...
I'm not going.
Not going? But I thought once you'd made up your mind.
I realise I was wrong to make up my mind. I was naughty at school because I didn't want to be sent away from home. But now I think Whyteleafe is a lovely school, and I want to stay. Thank you for letting me choose. But I choose to stay, if you'll have me.
Of course we will, Elizabeth. We admire anyone who can stand up and tell us they were wrong. You're the right sort for Whyteleafe. Stay as long as you like.
I will.
Hello, Elizabeth. What happened at the meeting? Anything exciting?
I'm staying.
What?
I'm staying. I'm not going to leave until we're both head girls.
How wonderful! I can't believe it. I feel so happy. We shall have a lovely term now, and soon our parents will be here. Perhaps we could all go out together. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. Oh, I can't tell you how happy I am, Joan.
There's such a change in her, Miss Best. She looks a different child.
Yes, Mrs. Allen, but that change she has made herself. She started off being the naughtiest girl in school, and now I think she's going to be the best girl one day. Someone we shall all be proud of. The children have helped her appreciate everything.
Elizabeth? Elizabeth, do you still want to leave school?
Oh, no, Mother. I want to stay here forever and ever. That is if you come down each term and give Joan and I a smashing treat.
Well, Daddy and I thought we'd take you both and Mrs. Townsend down to the seaside for lunch, and then a walk along the cliffs, a cream tea, and then we'll go up.
Come on, Joan. We're going to miss everything if we don't hurry.
I'm coming. I can't find my other stocking. Have you gone and hidden it somewhere?
Now, would I go and hide one of your stockings, Joan?
Well, you weren't called the naughtiest girl in school for nothing.
But that's in the past, Joan. I'm your friend.
That doesn't mean you wouldn't still play tricks, does it?
No, it doesn't. So I wonder where your stocking is.
Oh, come on. Tell me where it is.
I don't know.
You do.
I don't.
You do. I can see it in your hand. Give it to me.
Have to catch me first.